Here's the 5 steps I used to move out of the cold and cloudy weather in Detroit, Michigan, and move down to paradise in St. Petersburg, Florida. And you know what? You can do it too. Let's jump in.
Seasonal depression is real, and I had it for about 8 months out of the year, man. The skies always had these gray clouds. It looked like one gray cloud in Michigan, and it was tough to see the sun all throughout the winter. So I knew I had to get to a place like this where I could see the sun daily. Hey guys, if you're new to the channel, my name is Grant Warrington, and I moved from cold and cloudy Michigan to St. Petersburg, Florida, and I have found a life that I never knew existed. And I believe this is truly paradise in America. Explore it with me, and I'm going to show you why you should either move here, visit here, or invest here. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Now let's go. The first step we took to move to paradise was we planned a few visits. We wanted to come down here at least twice. We didn't know a lot about St. Petersburg. A friend recommended it to us, so we wanted to come down in August, the hottest month of the year, and we wanted to see exactly what that was like. So we rented an Airbnb in Old Northeast because we knew we wanted to live in the city or around the city. That was really the trip that we familiarized ourselves with St. Pete, and that's what I would recommend you do. Now, we don't have kids, but if you do, you need to figure out, are you a beach person or are you a city person? Now, we love the beach, but we don't sit on the beach every single day, and what was important to us was we wanted to be able to walk out of our front door and be able to walk to fine dining. I wanted to walk to get my hair cut. We wanted to walk to the dentist, the grocery store, everything. So we knew downtown was the spot for us. We came back a second time in February because we wanted to see what all the fuss was about, and man, it did not let us down. So when we came down the first time in August, I put a 9-month timeline on it. I said, we're moving in 9 months. So that put us out to May. I also posted it all over my social media, and I told all my followers, we're moving in 9 months to St. Petersburg, Florida. That gave me the accountability that I needed to get my ass moving forward and make this dream happen. So the second thing we did was we found a group and we started networking. We needed to make some friends down here, man. I needed some homies. I didn't know anybody. I actually knew one guy and that was it. So I happened to belong to this high-level men's networking group called GoBundance, and there were about 30 Go Bros in the area of St. Pete and Tampa. So luckily, I was able to meet some guys before I moved down here. Now, if you don't belong to a group like this, I recommend you go on Facebook and jump in some free groups and just meet some people down here. A great place to start is the Facebook group I Love St. Pete. They have about almost 200,000 members, and they talk about things like, hey, let's go play volleyball here. Here's a great place to eat, stuff like that. Get in these groups and network. Now, if you're a woman watching this, St. Pete Girl Bosses is an awesome place to start as well. That's a group my wife joined, and she made a ton of connections in that group before we even moved down. My third recommendation is St. Pete Beach Events. It's another great spot, and you can meet people in there. And the great thing about moving to Florida is most of the people you meet down here aren't local. They moved here just like you, so they want to make friends just like you. Everybody is super friendly, and we met a ton of nice people, and I gotta say, my social life is 100 times better than it was in Michigan. We go out to dinner with friends all the time, play pickleball, constant doing activities like going to the beach. So I'm loving it, and we're having a blast. So the third step we took to move down to paradise is we had to make a decision. Do we want to rent or do we want to buy? And when we started thinking about that, trying to see houses for Michigan just didn't make a lot of sense to us. So we made the decision, look, we're going to rent for a year. And then once we're down there, we can figure out the neighborhoods we love, where we want to live, and we'll have a better understanding of the community. So we also knew we love downtown. So we decided we're going to rent in an apartment building downtown. Now, like I said, walkability was a huge thing for us. We wanted to be able to walk out that front door and not have to jump into a car to experience all these amazing things in St. Pete. We also knew we could jump on the Sunrunner, which is public transportation, and that could take us to the beach. Again, no need for the car. So we toured a bunch of apartment buildings down here, and we found one we absolutely fell in love with. It is incredible. It's called the Hermitage, and it was situated right in the spot we wanted to be in downtown St. Pete. And when you walk inside the lobby, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. This place is like a hotel resort. And to this day, my wife and I still will sometimes refer to it as, remember when we stayed in the hotel? And it's like, no, it was an apartment. The thing's got a swimming pool, a gym, a badass kitchen where you can host events, and it had office space. So we weren't just confined to our apartment building, we could go out and use all these other amenities, and it was fantastic. So if you're not ready to jump into an apartment building, maybe look on Airbnb and see if you can reach out and ask one of those hosts if you can rent their place for a year. Maybe you can get a discount on that for renting for a long-term stay. The fourth thing we did was we sold our car, but let me be honest with you, okay? I sold my car, and that was tough because I love that car. But the goal was we didn't want to have an extra vehicle. We wanted to move somewhere where we weren't dependent on cars. In Michigan, every single person has a car, and we wanted to get away from that. Like I told you, we wanted to be able to walk out the front door and get anywhere we want with public transportation or have that walkability. The great thing is you can plan your living around your commute. If you live downtown, you can probably walk to work, or you could move out farther and ride your bike. You could take Pinellas Trail, and that takes you from close to the beach all the way to downtown. Another thing, the Sunrunner. You can hop on that, public transportation, and take that into town as well. The fifth thing we did was we planned our move. Well, actually, my wife planned our move. She's awesome at it. That's her wheelhouse. So she took over completely. First thing we had to do is we had to decide on our moving budget. So here's a great tip. Don't try and scrimp on this. Don't invite your friends over with pizza and beer. Nobody wants to help you move. Just pay the money and I'm gonna break it all down for you. It's not as bad as you think. First thing we did was we had a garage sale. So I sold my riding lawnmower, we sold furniture, all the things that wouldn't fit in our apartment, like my power tools. And if you could see right now, I'm actually shedding a tear over that. That was tough as well. But this was more important than having a garage full of tools. We then used that money from the garage sale to put towards our moving fees. We called a bunch of different moving trucks and we landed on U-Haul, which I'm glad we did because it made it super easy when we got to St. Pete, and you're gonna wanna do the same thing. Now we wanted to hire movers. We wanted people to move our stuff from the house inside the truck. I didn't want to do that. I hate doing stuff like that. So we asked U-Haul, hey, do you guys got any recommendations? And they did, and this was fantastic. They recommended movers in Michigan and movers in St. Pete. So we jumped online, we looked at reviews, so we picked the best company with the highest reviews. We rented a 15-foot truck from U-Haul for 5 days, and it cost us $1,610. The movers were $160 for 2 hours, and we gave them a $100 tip because they busted their ass. But believe me, we kept them moving. They didn't slack off, so it was great. They got it done in that 2 hours. I drove the moving truck down to Florida, and we took 2 days because we didn't want to spend 22 hours driving straight through. So I downloaded a ton of Joe Rogan episodes, and I just listened to those the whole way down. It was awesome. My wife followed behind in the Mazda with the cat, and the cat meowed the whole way down, so that wasn't a great experience for her. After 2 days of traveling, we got to St. Pete, and again, we wanted movers to bring our stuff from the truck up to the 8th floor of the apartment building. I wasn't gonna do that. So again, we took the recommendation from U-Haul, we looked online at their Google reviews, and we used American Movers. They've moved us twice now. They moved us into that apartment, and they moved us out into our new home we currently own. They did a great job. It was $160 for 2 hours, and we gave them a $100 tip. They didn't stop, they didn't lollygag, they were on it, man. So these guys I highly recommend. So total cost to make the move down with 2 visits, 1 hotel, 1 Airbnb, plane tickets, the moving van, the movers, the 2 hotel rooms on the way down, we spent a total of $4,550, which really isn't bad to move across country or down country, however you want to look at it, and start a whole new life over. So that's how we made the move from cold and cloudy weather down to paradise in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I hope this video showed you it's really not as hard as you might think. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. I got another one right here that's gonna tell you the 5 crazy reasons I chose St. Petersburg, Florida to move to. You're gonna love it. I'll see you in this video.